Hey everyone, welcome back to Loopy Studio, and today I'm here to talk about Outer Banks Season 4, Episode 2, called Blackbeard. I thought this was a great episode, personally. I was really not expecting that ending. That was a shocker to me. I really liked that ending, actually, because I feel like it really raised the stakes higher. And I thought the sequences were really cool, like filmed and directed and lit and all of that. So I did really like that. But basically, the episode starts off with this scene we saw in the trailer. We have Wes Jenerick kind of explaining what the mission is that he would send the Pogues on. It turns out that I don't even really remember the whole story, but it basically has to do with Blackbeard and his wife Elizabeth, and an amulet is at the bottom of an ocean in a ship, and they want to retrieve it just because it's worth a lot and it has significant value, and if they can retrieve it, then he will pay him, I don't even remember the exact amount, but pretty much a lot of money. JJ's all for it for the money, so basically he just says they'll do it before even the other team members can really like have a say in it, because they're all pretty like this is dangerous. It's like 80 feet down or something like that. Like, that's not safe. But JJ, as always, is the risk taker. And then we have this moment where there's Chandler looks into JJ's eyes, and you could tell that's kind of setting up something for what's eventually revealed at the end of episode 5. So basically in this episode, they're kind of just preparing for this underwater dive thing that JJ and Kiara both end up going on. But we also see that the guy from episode 1 who was trying to get the property, named Dale, who's also racist to Cleo. That was a pretty uncomfortable little scene. But basically they're redoing the zoning, which basically means that they could get kicked out of their property. So that's also a lingering thing that I really don't think gets addressed until, even in these first 5 episodes, what's going to happen with their surf shops. So that's a lingering thing. It's not really surprising. There's just always those people that are trying to wheeze their way in and zone the properties, which kicks them out of their own land. Pretty typical storyline, but yeah, they kind of leave that hanging. And then you also have this Lightner dude who was introduced last episode, and he is also trying to figure out where the Blackbeard treasure is. So we basically have these two. We have the Pogues, and then we have Lightner and his crew, and they're both trying to find the amulet. And that kind of sets up this whole thing that ends up going underwater at the end. And then we also have this body turning up on the beach, and it has this symbol on it. And that kind of gets addressed in a few episodes, but at first I was kind of confused, what's the point of just this random body getting appearing on the beach? But it sets up something for episode 4, I want to say. Yeah, episode 4. So they pretty much begin their thing. JJ and Kiara are both going down into the water. John B. and Hope are manning the ship, and then Cleo and Sarah are lookout nearby just to make sure nothing bad happens. And then, meanwhile, while all of this is going on, there's this other plot line. People are talking bad about Ward, which makes Rafe really upset and angry. And he's kind of going on and on about how his dad was such a great guy, which we all know is not true. But to him, he believes that his dad was the best because his dad, he did a lot for him. And it was such a toxic relationship, but there were also those good moments too. And Rafe, all the way through this, has been brainwashed. I do want to say he's a bit more level-headed in these first 5 episodes from what we've seen in past seasons. Even season 3, I thought he kind of became a little bit more level-headed. Season 2 was where he was at his worst with all that shit. But no, I thought the storyline with him and Hollis is kind of boring, to be honest, because it's such a contrast from what's going on with the Pogues, which I'm way more interested in, and then you have this just plot line where she wants him to be her partner in real estate, and to me it just doesn't have the same vibe as the other plot line going on, and it's kind of a setup for future episodes from now, but you kind of have Rafe considering it, but that plot line doesn't really go very far here. So JJ and Kiara go underwater, and they're searching for the amulet, and they find out there's already someone down there. It's Lightner, and he tries to kill them. And that was crazy. That was a crazy sequence, and to me, I had a hard time understanding what was going on just because everything was so fast-paced and moving. So when that happened, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was not expecting that. And then they came up, and they were able to escape. before getting like caught or whatever by Lightner and his crew. We find out that they did get the amulet, so that's good. So they have the amulet, so they did succeed in that case, but now JJ and Kiara are really sick from being down there too long, and they have the bump, so they have to go to the hospital and be put into this hydraulic chamber. And then later on, they had this cute moment where it looks like they're going to have sex. So there's that. I mean, to me, that was a cute moment when they were in the chamber together, and, you know, I really like their relationship and all that. But no, all that whole sequence actually made me kind of scared. Like, them underwater and then them being sent to the hospital. I'm like, these stakes are higher. I don't think anyone's been in the hospital. We haven't even seen anyone in the hospital since like season 1 when John B was put in there after Topper. Like, we don't see the hospital that often. Although this hospital is kind of whack, being honest. Just certain stuff about it that I think next episode they explain a little bit more. So with JJ and Kiara now in the hospital, we also have this plot line going on with Wes, and he is like really interested in JJ for some reason, and my guess is because of the Chandler connection that gets explained in a few episodes. And then we see like he hears a noise, and then we see like wind blowing outside, which then leads into later on we find out that he died. And pretty much Officer Shoop blames the kids because they were in the area, I guess. So that kind of sets up this whole other drama with the Pogues being to blame for Wes's death. Overall, though, this was a great episode. I mean, really the only complaint I have is that the Rafe storyline just isn't super interesting to me, but Drew Starkey does a great job as always, so it's not even that big of a deal. But comment down below, what did you guys think of episode 2, and I'll be back with episode 3 on Tuesday because there's a Heartland recap coming tomorrow. So thanks everyone for listening, and bye everyone.